Well, hello everybody. It is 12:08 on Wednesday, October the 8th of 2025, which is 3 days short in reference to the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And Trevor and I spoke about this live tonight, and I came across a little bit more information from reading other YouTube channels. And there's a gentleman named Will Evans, and I highly suggest subscribing to his channel. If you've never been to High Voltage before, welcome. Again, my name is Lasha, and on this channel, it's usually very light and fluffy. Trevor and I love to dance, and we love to sing, and we love animals, and we just love to have fun. We've done some reading, some podcasts, light chat. However, all of this talk on YouTube with Charlie Kirk's assassination has been overbearing. And it's almost gotten to the point where a month's worth of every single channel talking about Charlie Kirk. I've seen nothing like this at all. And Will Evans, and there's a lot of TikTokers that are sharing a lot about Erica Kirk. If you're interested in body language, summarizing videos, not critiquing other people that have YouTube channels, but opinions. And you can always share your opinion without being rude. So, as far as Erica Kirk is concerned, I was really, really unaware of who Charlie Kirk was. I had no idea who he was, which is very, very strange to me. I was in a medical malpractice, and I was in a wheelchair for an entire year. Took about 7 years to recover. But my point is this. That was in 2017, and that's when I discovered YouTube. When I discovered YouTube, because you know, my leg was straight out, I was in a wheelchair, I had a dog to take care of, I was in a lot of pain, and YouTube kind of saved my life. Because I was in so much pain, because the doctor didn't say anything, and there was corruption at the highest level in the hospital to cover up what the surgeon did because he could have lost his license. But he never said a word. It's not like he passed off a phone call. No, 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 no. He passed off, he broke my knee in a femur operation. Now, what does that have to do with Erica Kirk and Will Evans? It's about corruption. Now, that's a beautiful picture of Erica Kirk and Charlie Kirk. And a lot of the narratives in reference to Charlie Kirk and Erica Kirk are really negative and some so positive. But what I find very strange about grief, which is one of the things that I do want to speak of tonight in an articulate way, and I implore you to listen to this if you want to. Grief has many, many stages, and when Candace Owens came out guns blazing, you can see the pain in her eyes, the bags under her eyes. She is more distraught, in my opinion, over Charlie Kirk's passing than his own wife. I understand that people handle grief in a different way, but how on earth? How on earth? I was just trying to watch before I said anything, but now I can't say it anymore. You know, I came on the platform today because Charlie Kirk's wife is acting very oddly in terms of her grief with her husband, in my opinion. And I just can't believe that she went on to Charlie Kirk's YouTube channel not even 2 weeks after his passing. And his memorial was like a Republican political campaign. Charlie Kirk is 31, 32. Erica Kirk is 4 or 5 years older than Charlie Kirk. And Erica Kirk applied for a job um, at I'm Canadian, um, something Point America, and he said, I don't want to hire you, I want to date you. And the very first message that she put out about her battle cry, this wife, this widow will have battle cries around the world, and America Point USA, I'm not sure of the name, will be stronger and bigger and more powerful. And then at the memorial, which I don't understand why it wasn't private, Candace Owens, when you read between the lines of what she says, she said, I know and I believe, I'm not quoting her verbatim, but paraphrasing, and she said something along the lines of, Charlie Kirk was betrayed by people in his own organization. Now, when you listen to Candace Owens, some people think she's a conspiracy theorist and she's crazy. And why did she dig into Brigitte Macron? And because she's a journalist and she's looking for stories and she's interesting. And why do people have to insult her opinion? There's no difference. There's free speech as long as you don't do anything to hurt anybody. Now, with free speech, there's a lot of projection. We project all the time. We look at things through our own lens. This is not news to anybody. But when you look at Eric Kirk and you look at Candace Owens played a clip of Erica Kirk about the battle cries and this widow and on and on and on. That's the only little clip she said that Candace Owens played of Erica Kirk when Erica Kirk went on Charlie Kirk's platform. Before Erica did that, Candace said, nobody needs to go on Charlie's channel right now. I think when you listen to Candace Owens, she's actually referring to somebody at America Point USA, whatever it's called. I'm not sure because I'm Canadian and I didn't know about Charlie Kirk, but I listened to his debates and he wasn't a racist. He was not homophobic. He lived his life through Jesus. I actually watched Tucker Carlson on Charlie Kirk's show talking about Jesus and how Charlie Kirk was a, his life was surrounded, and he went to mass every day, and I just can't believe the difference in the grief. Like Candace Owens came out and said, during grief, you go through so many different stages, and I am angry. I'm angry. I had to see a priest. And now people might think, oh, boo hoo, Candace. She's a human being and she's sharing. And I watched a live, and somebody said on Candace Owens's live, blank Charlie Kirk. That is so rude. I understand that people pass away and you've got to move forward. I understand that. However, Candace Owens said that the speech that Erica Kirk made was one of the most remarkable, historical speeches in American history. But if you really read between the lines, what she was saying is, because the only part that she showed was when Erica said that she forgave the man that unalived her husband. And just sort of the little clues that Candace leaves, that he was betrayed by somebody, and who is the biggest winner out of his passing? It would be his wife. Now, in no way, shape, or form am I saying that she's involved with it, but why on earth would she come out like that? And she was using Kleenex, and she was, constantly using the Kleenex on her left eye, and she was not crying. She was not crying. And I'll never understand that. Now, remember when Chris Watts and there's so many people that, Scott Peterson, if something feels off to you, it's been scientifically proven that our emotions have physical reactions with certain muscles in our body. I'm just trying to find the part about Erica Kirk. Oh, it's Turning Point USA. That's right. And at the beginning of Erica's speech, she was thanking all of the first responders and the politicians. Oh, and then she started to talk about Charlie. Like, can you please tell me what that is about? I don't understand. Yeah, she gave a 15-minute statement and spent 6 minutes at the beginning talking about Turning Point USA, Charlie's company, his staff, the politicians, the supporting responders. And when you really start to dig into the history of who Erica Kirk really is, it's very coincidental. And you know what? Candace Owens really cannot say what she wants to say. I believe that is why she is kind of speaking in riddles and people don't understand what she's saying, or they're criticizing. So just give me one moment in reference to the history of Charlie Kirk's wife, which I'm sure everybody knows. So, okay. So yeah, she's in the CEO position, which would make sense because he probably left the business to his wife. So there's that, of course. Now, the problem initially with Erica Kirk taking over, what do I have a problem with? I don't have a problem with anything. But she's running around doing press. She's running around marketing 2 weeks after her. It's been 3 days short of 30 days. So, and then on stage, she was talking about she hasn't slept. Well, of course she hasn't slept. Her husband passed away 2 days before she made that speech. She had no bags under her eyes, perfect makeup, perfect hair, a white pantsuit, like a almost like a boss. When you're at a funeral or a memorial, usually you wear black. It's just it's tradition. I know that people are very liberal, but one of the things I think that we are losing in North America is the family unit. 100%. But there's some interesting things about Erica Kirk. Um, yeah, when she was talking about a wife's role, and she was saying we're not slaves, you know, I don't understand why she said that because Charlie Kirk never said anything like that. And she looked angry. But when she said, I forgive, Charlie was trying to save the men that, the young man that blanked him. And I forgive him. And then she didn't even have a tear. I don't understand that. And apparently she had some acting experience, allegedly. So she takes his place. Oh, shoot, I wrote this down. Oh, here's one of her quotes. Okay. Charlie and I were united in purpose. His passion was my passion. Now his mission is my mission. Now, she's already, I don't know, she's 5 years older. She had a previous relationship with Trump. I don't mean um, intimately, but some kind of friendship, allegedly. I don't know if it's true, but that seems to be the way it is. And when she fell into Trump's arms after the speech, it was like, it was just too dramatic, or else maybe it took a lot out of her. So she's older than Charlie Kirk by 4 or 5 years, which is nothing wrong with that at all. Um, sorry about this. Shoot, 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 shoot. Okay. So they were married for 4 years. So basically, he was in his 20s and she would have been about 34, 35. I guess she's going to be 36 this year in November. She's probably a Scorpio. She studied science and international relations. She played collegiate level B, majoring in political science, which is sort of like setting up a political career. She has nonprofit organizations, but one of the strangest things is she had a Romanian orphanage. Why Romania? That's where Andrew Tate is. Why Romania? I don't understand. I'd love to know what your thoughts are. And there's a really, really good clip that you need to, you know what? I'm going to try to find it right now. And you should really listen to this clip of this woman who debated Charlie Kirk. And he was stumped. He was absolutely stumped. Let me find it. And then actually, I'll take this off and I'll show it to you. Okay? Hi there. Hello. Sorry, I didn't even know anybody was there. I was trying to concentrate so intensely, I didn't even look at the comments. I apologize. What did I want to look for? Oh, shoot. Oh, wait. I think I need to take a 2-minute pause. Oh, just 2 minutes. Bum. What did I want to share with you? Oh, shoot. Darn it all. I can't remember. Oh, no. I can't remember. Um, oh, yeah. She was Miss Arizona, and Donald Trump owned those pageants. I wonder if Donald Trump tried to set Erica up with Charlie Kirk. Like, who the heck knows? And I guess the thing about grief is there are stages of grief. There's anger, there's shock, there's despair, there's acceptance, and grief comes and goes in waves. Sometimes when my dog passed away, I didn't feel anything for about 3 weeks because if I felt it, I would have had to be mopped off the floor. There's something about losing an animal that it's very normal because animals love you unconditionally. But what I was going to say about her white suit is she walked on the stage like a boss. She didn't seem like a demure wife. She acted very differently than when she acted with her husband. She didn't mention her children. I know that her mother or father allegedly worked for the military industrial complex. And then, yeah, the mother and Erica Kirk, or Erica, I forget her maiden name, but yeah, they started an orphanage in Romania. Uh, and then apparently it got shut down because of accusations of you know what. And apparently the laws in Romania and the judicial system is so corrupt. And I loved listening to Andrew Tate on Pierce Morgan defend himself. Like, I mean, that guy is just, he's losing it. Andrew Tate, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Anyways, I can't remember what I wanted you to listen to, but if I remember, I'll come back on and oh, which was it? Oh, for heaven's sakes. I know everybody's seen the speech. Oh, I know it, the Cambridge Charlie Kirk debate. This was amazing. There was a girl at the end who absolutely like completely. All right, ready? Okay, wait. There's a girl at the very end, and she's really good. And she studied him before she debated him. Don't forget, how much money is too much money to. Where is she? Oh, come on. Is this the right one? Oh, there she is. Wait. I'll get there. Don't worry. Oh, thanks for hanging in there. Hi, Keith. Islam is a little bit of a side note. Hello. Wait. Oh, hi, Keith. Female genital mutilation, which is a teaching of the Islamic faith. But as a side note. Oh, here she is. Here she is. Okay. Very important. All right, ready? I want to show you this because I watched her on another podcast and how she studied Charlie Kirk, his talking points, and how she was going to psychologically turn it around and win the debate. All right, so she's coming up. Let me get it ready. Thank you very much. Okay, let me get it ready. How can I do this? Wait.
Our next question is from Tilly Middlehurst at Fitzwilliam College.
Wait. Sorry, I've got to take the. Oh, hi, everybody. It's me. I don't want to scare you because, it is 12:08 at night. So.
It's about the role of women, though. What should women's role in public and private life look like?
Can't
And what are
see the
material
screen.
benefits of that?
I'm just one sec.
You,
Hang on.
can I take it? I don't even want to take this detour, but can we both agree on what a
All
woman
right.
is?
Wait,
Yeah.
wait.
Human and female. It's a
Wait. Here we go. Here we go. Let me take the uh let me get the there we go. Okay, ready? All right, here we go. Here it is. This woman is brilliant. Ready? Thanks for hanging in with me, guys and ladies and gentlemen. She's brilliant. Okay.
Predict the prevalence of monogamy, certain marriage systems, and what I think is what we refer to as attachment issues. They seem to be
Hello,
an
Keith.
ecological
Hello,
calibration to
David.
environment. In environments that are more unstable,
Can't see the
it's less
screen.
optimal for an individual to grow up with a
Looking
tendency
good,
to rely on
Lash.
long-term
Oh,
parents. And I think there's a
Trevor and
mismatch
I
with the
were
one
on
box
live
again
today.
creating
Hello.
industrialization. There are so many people
I
raise
can't see
kids.
very well. Can you see this? Hang on a minute. Let me go in the light. Let me go in the light.
This then causes people to
The
struggle
light, the light.
for long-term.
One sec. Here we go. Here we go.
Genetic part is, again,
I'm using two phones.
showing that especially
One sec. Here we go.
some people really just do not have the proclivity for this.
Here we go. Here we go.
What would bring stability?
Okay, ready?
So first of all, I would say we had what you might consider stability in the previous century, and then it became unstable.
Here she is.
And then think why? I'm saying because moral absolutism wasn't.
I'm in my bathroom.
Moral absolutism was lost. You see, modernity rose. We started to teach our kids moral relativism, and we got rid of moral absolutes. So it's the opposite. So why was it lost? Was it lost because people stopped? It is women. Okay, got it. So women can have prostates. Got it. Okay. Um, A definition of woman, I would say that people who have a prostate are biologically male.
Okay, listen to this, guys. Listen. This girl is so smart. All right, here we go.
Our next question is from Tilly Middlehurst at Fitzwilliam College.
She wanted Charlie. Whoop. Oh no, she was fake. Okay, here we go.
So I'm a feminist. My question is about the role of women, though. What
Bye,
should women's
Keith.
role in public and private life look like, and what are the material benefits of that? Well, thank you for that. Can I take it? I don't really want to take this detour, but can we both agree on what a woman is?
She always says that.
Adult human female, it's a biological state of being that is also socially experienced. Can I please elucidate just one example of that social experience? Yeah, I was going to answer your question, but sure, go ahead. Yeah, okay. So let's say you're a member of a tribe, and that in that tribe, you have the biological female anatomy. And in order to become a woman in that tribe, you have to also get a tattoo. That's a social experience that's mapped onto.
Oh, hi, Keith. Thanks for staying.
So
Listen to the way she talks circles around him.
Biologically speaking, a woman is an adult human female that has a biological reality, but it's also social experience, right? So I don't just. It's super easy. Like, can a woman have a prostate? So as per my definition of woman, I would say that people who have a prostate are biologically male, but they can sometimes be socially treated as women. Got it.
Oh, thanks, Keith.
So women can have.
It's Ukrainian.
Okay. Um, so you're a feminist that actually isn't just fighting for women; you're also fighting for men. So yes, men also experience harms from patriarchy, but I argue. We're talking about the same feminism, though. Just make sure. Yeah, sure. Go ahead. So men also experience harm from patriarchal domination, but I would argue that those harms come from that system of domination itself. In the same way, for example, this isn't a threat, but if I reached across and punched you in the face, then my hand might hurt. Right? So are we understanding that there are patterns of power? So I would also fight for the rights of men as a feminist, just as I would fight for the rights of women. Sure. Do you think women are happier than they were 40 years ago? I think I would have a few responses to that. I think that women report more stress and dissatisfaction today because not because they have more rights or because of feminism, but because they're under
No way.
excel professionally, and also because of the domestic
Wait a minute.
labor in homes.
You met Epstein and Maxwell in Melbourne in 1998, Keith? For real? Keith. 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 I'm trying to think of a Keith Urban song right now, but I can't think of one. Well, I want to hear about that. Can you email me, please? Okay, where's this woman? Listen to her. She talks circles around him.
Outdated expectations. So, for example, studies like the OECD's Better Life Index show that women's life expectancy, education levels, professional achievements have risen in countries with higher gender inequality. So, I would argue that what you're calling unhappiness is actually visibility, because now we hear women expressing dissatisfaction.
Keith, I want to hear all about it.
Some Valium and we lobotomize. Yeah, that's really rich. I didn't know women not to complain 50 years ago. That's funny.
Wow, Charlie.
Suicide rates going up more for women. I think that encourages complaining. Materially, women are killing themselves more. Why is
that? Is not
I think true. That even if both men and women have become unhappier, men's suicide rates.
Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. First of all, women do not unalive themselves. Jizzy was very kind. No. Well, I'm sure she could be very charming. However, we all know. And Virginia Giuffre's passing, oh man, that was just awful. When Charlie Kirk, now I know he's passed, and his wife said, Charlie Kirk's wife said, that when her husband had that bullet in his neck, that he blinked and smiled and he could see his savior and he was beside his savior. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Erica, but you're not being sincere. There's something off. But I'm just trying to make the point that Charlie Kirk really did have specific talking points. And this woman was on a YouTube channel, and the guy was asking her, how did you win that debate? And she said, conservatives always have the same talking points, and he always starts with the same question. Would you agree that there are only men and women? Well, that's actually not true. There are hermaphrodites. I mean, come on, Charlie. You're a wonderful man and a great influencer.
Can you at least concede that feminism offers only one potential explanation? There could be also other explanations. Of course, obviously, but feminism is the glaring thing in front of us, where we have fertility rates down, we have marriage rates down, we have unhappiness up. And we did something in the 1960s out of the universities of Brady Friedan and Gloria Steinem and all these feminists that basically said, you're trapped in a home, go get a job, freeze your eggs, take birth control. And all of a sudden, women are way unhappier than they were 40 years ago. And I just have to ask.
Oh, that's not true. When my grandmother was growing up and when my mother was growing up, women only had three choices. My mom's 75. So 55 years ago, my mother could be a secretary, a teacher, or a nurse. That was it. So I don't know what Charlie's talking about, that women were happier then. My mother and, oh man, that's just not true. I was a kid of the 70s and my parents were divorced. I was the only divorced family then. So what is he talking about?
Is it working? And maybe there are biological differences between men and women that we should respect, and that deep down, a lot of women want to get married and have children. In fact, we should applaud it and we should support it. And we should say it means nothing if you're going to go be a CEO of some shoe company or be some banker in London. What matters is children. And
you love me, Keith.
Long after.
Why?
I think I would bring two points to that. The first one is just really simple, which is that you can ascribe liberalism all you want as the cause of the unhappiness. I would argue something else. I would say that it's certain economic.
Aw, thanks for the heart.
The social acceptance of alternative lifestyles. I would say that we can recognize that income inequality across.
Keith, that's so kind of you. I'm in my bathroom right now. It's 1:45 in the morning, and I have to work tomorrow at 8 o'clock, but I just couldn't resist doing this live at nighttime because then if people don't watch while you're doing it live, you don't feel like such an idiot. Okay, I'll just 2 more minutes of this, debate. It's making me cross-eyed. 1 sec. Alright. Can you believe I do this with phones? I mean, this is probably, like, the sloppiest channel ever.
Sway of Western countries has increased, which causes all kinds of social ills, a lack of social cohesion.
Thank you,
Housing
Keith,
price
for
growth doesn't correspond
staying.
with wage growth. Monopolies increasingly become kind of emboldened to interfere with politics, and monopolies don't prioritize social health either. I think that those offer more compelling reasons for a decline in happiness than an increase in freedoms. Because just one more thing, on an intuitive basis, generally speaking, people want more freedom, not less. Okay, so if that's true, why is it? Do you agree that the happiest women in the West are married with kids? I would have to look into it, but I think there are certain. And objectively, we know that, right? The women with kids are not the ones tearing down statues, right? They're the ones that actually have obligations. Tearing down statues correspond to some kind of smiles per capita data set that I wasn't aware of. I mean, again, it's like the happy and the grateful. The happy and the grateful usually don't go burn down Wendy's in their spare time, which we saw in our country all throughout a single summer. But as a side note, you would agree, objectively, study after study, survey after survey, that the women of the West that are married and have children, especially a lot of children, are far happier than even the ones that earn more money correlated at the same age. So I also don't think that happiness is a very good metric, and neither do you, because you think gay people shouldn't just pursue happiness by being gay. They have other moralistic considerations to be making. So I don't think smiles per capita is a particularly convincing way to measure whether or not we should encourage women to be autonomous. I think we should maximize agency within a fair system that has reasonable parameters because it's expedient, it's good for the economy, it's logical, it's the moral thing, because if we can't prove the material harms, we shouldn't discourage it. And also, self-reported studies is a really flawed way to do psychology. It's the week before my university exams right now, and I'm standing here explaining the basic methodology behind survey collection in sociology, which you don't even think is a real subject, to Charlie Kirk. If I took one of those surveys right now, I'd check extremely miserable, but so would a Palestinian child who's been torn to smithereens. How are we going to say extremely miserable? No, I'm kind of making a joke. No, I mean, but seriously, like, but hold on. I mean, like, that's an important point, though, is that the women in the West have it the best in the world, and yet they're way unhappier than women of sub-Saharan Africa. There's something fundamentally wrong here, because the women of sub-Saharan Africa have something that a lot of women in the West do not have. The women in the West have cats, and they have good jobs, and the women of sub-Saharan Africa, they have a belief in the divine, and they have kids. And maybe there's a biological undercurrent that is keeping a lot of women from realizing their full potential. And so without reading your phone and just like, connecting. I'm not really reading my phone. Well, it's fine. For sure. Then you can answer without it. Fair enough. Would you agree that
He is very sarcastic.
Married and have children in the West? I would ask you, would you say that a sub-Saharan African woman who's experienced female genital mutilation and checks extremely happy in a survey, and I also would check extremely happy in a survey, who do you think would be objectively more happy, even if they both check the same answer? No, okay, so I fully, if you want to talk about how Islam mistreats women, we could talk all day long. Like, I'm all for that. Me too. Okay, good. So we agree. Absolutely. We actually have agreement. Many things. And we should shut off Muslim immigration to the UK, right? We totally agree. I think that all religious fundamentalism is bad, and if you take that logic, we should also not allow evangelical Christians in. Well, okay. Hold on. So hold on a second. Hold on. That's funny. Hold on.
Boy, he gets defensive if he's wrong.
What would your example, because I have 50, of a single Christian country that you would say mistreats women, right? America. Oh, really? Yes. We had a female woman vice president. We had a female vice president, a female speaker of the House. Women earn more than men in America. In Rwanda, female representation in government supersedes the UK by quite a lot. Did women get treated better in Rwanda? Okay, I might be super off this. Like, is Rwanda Islamic? Like, I'm not totally sure. I don't think it is. Like, is it? Like, I don't know, actually. I don't. It's not. So, again, we were just talking about Islam. Just a little bit of side note, but you must be morally clear, because you brought up female genital mutilation, which is a teaching of the Islamic faith. But as a side note, like, again, this is very important, which is, I'm not here to require you to do anything or not. I'm making a simple observation, which is objectively true regardless. The women of the West are miserable, and they're miserable for a reason, because we've told them to suppress how they are.
Okay, women in the West are miserable because we were told to Charlie, stop telling women how we're supposed to be. And he gets so defensive. offensive if people don't agree with him. I don't understand. And he's being sarcastic. That's not Christian like.
Made by God and pursue something else and get a bunch of trinkets and get a bunch of promotions, and they end up at 38 years old with a big flat in London, and they're miserable. And we should tell them to stop freezing their eggs and start finding their partner earlier and have lots of babies. Yeah, okay. I think I'll bring two just final points to this. First one is just really intuitive, right? Which is that if you actually care about women's happiness, then the solution is to structurally support them. That means universal childcare, shared legally enforceable parental leave, and in Nordic countries where women have high workforce participation and also some state support, they report higher life satisfaction than in more conservative countries, including America. So if your metric is happiness, just do satisfaction surveys. You told me they're BS.
So our satisfaction surveys bullshit or not? Because you told me
do you acknowledge satisfaction surveys or not? You just told me that they're BS. Do you think they're objective? We can use that as data?
I don't think that
Yes or no?
is the only sole data set, but it is a data set that
you told me there's a flawed and you self-report. Okay, by the macro self-satisfaction data, I am correct. And you are right. When you have paid family leave, you are happier. I'm actually a proponent of that. At Turning Point USA, we pay for 6 months when somebody has a child. I think there's a lot of agreement we can have on that. We need to.
He just said at Turning Point, we give women 6 months. Okay, wait a minute. If women are supposed to be at home with the babies, then why is, if that's Charlie Kirk, he involves religion and politics. And religion and politics are secular. They should not be involved at all.
Encourage having more children. I think the Hungarian child policy is phenomenal. We should look at that because the greatest thing that is plaguing the West is we're not having enough kids. And it's not just bad because we won't have a future. It's also bad because the present is awfully miserable for too many women as well.
Okay, in which case I think we get... Do you want to start bringing this to a close, please? I think there's more miserable men because do you see any females in the US causing mass shootings? It's always men, not women. What is he talking about? Okay, I think just one final thing, which is that in which case we get to a really interesting argument about what parts of womanhood can be demarcated to the social and what kinds of womanhood can be demarcated to the biological. So, for example, my anatomy is demarcated to the biological, but the fact that I might potentially be a better nurturer than a man, I would demarcate that to the social. You might demarcate that to the biological. In which case, we have differing moral scales of value. I would ask why we should necessarily prioritize your moral scale of value, which prioritizes things like the birth rate, when in actual fact there are various other moral scales of value. And if you yourself are a free market American, why is it the case that you would not, like the previous speaker noted, extend personal freedoms towards all spheres, including a private sphere?
But I believe in absolute truth claims, and it's absolutely wrong and bad when a society stops having kids to replace their own population. And then you have to import the third world and you become the third world.
Oh, come on, Charlie.
Okay, thank you.
Jesus, wait a minute. Jesus would want the world to be happy. Jesus wouldn't put imaginary lines and states and no, 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 no. So why does Charlie Kirk have such an issue with immigration if he's a Christian? It's very hypocritical. Keith, thank you so much. And I just want to give a shout out here. Thank you, um, Tenzin. Thank you, Alego. Thank you, sorry, I can't pronounce that. Romanian, oh, okay, thank you, Marcelo. And I really feel bad for their kids. Yeah, me too, me too, me too, Tenzin. And Keith, and David, Keith. Hey, listen, thank you so much for staying and watching. I really appreciate it. And I hope you enjoyed my little opinion piece on the Kirks. And you know what? I do not plan to do anything more on Charlie Kirk or Erica Kirk unless something completely phenomenal happens. And let's hope it's something good this time. And God bless Charlie Kirk. And I really hope that Kash Patel and the FBI are honest about this. All right. Have a good night, everybody.